Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 17, texts 22 and 23. Yasyadya asit guna vigraho mahan Vijnana Krishno Bhagavana Chakila Yat Sambhavoham Trivridasa Tejasa Vaikārikam tāmasamaindriyam srije Ete vayam yasya vashe mahatmanah Sthitam shakunta eva sutrayantrika Mahanaham vai kritatamasendriya Srijama sarve yadanugrahadidam Yasya, from whom Adya, the beginning Asit, there was Guna Vigraha, the incarnation of the material qualities Mahan, the total material energy Vijnana, of full knowledge Kṛṣṇa, the reservoir Bhagavan, the most powerful Ajaha, Lord Brahma Kila, certainly Yat, from whom Sambhava, born Aham, I Trivrita, having three varieties according to the three modes of nature Svatejasa, by my material strength Vaikārikam, all the demigods Tamasam, material elements Aindriyam, the senses Srije, I create Ete, all of these Vayam, we Yasya, of whom Vashe, under the control Maha Atmanah, great personalities Sthitaha, situated Shakunta, vultures Eva, like Sutrayantrita, bound by rope Mahan, the Mahatattva Aham, I Vaikrita, the demigods Tamasa, the five material elements Indriya, senses Srijama, we create Sarve, all of us Yat, of whom Anugrahat, by mercy Idam, this material world. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Translation: from that Supreme Personality of Godhead appears Lord Brahma, whose body is made from the total material energy, the reservoir of intelligence predominated by the passionate mode of material nature. From Lord Brahma, I myself am born as a representation of false ego known as Rudra. By my own power, I create all the other demigods, the five elements, and the senses. Therefore, I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than any of us and under whose control are situated all the demigods, material elements, and senses, and even Lord Brahma and I myself, like birds bound by a rope. Only by the Lord's grace can we create, maintain, and annihilate the material world. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Being. Please repeat. From that Supreme Personality of Godhead appears Lord Brahma, whose body is made from the total material energy, the reservoir of intelligence, predominated by the passionate mode of material nature. From Lord Brahma, I myself am born as a representation of false ego, known as Rudra. By my own power, I create all the other demigods, the five elements and the senses. Therefore, I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than any of us, and under whose control are situated all the demigods, material elements and senses, and even Lord Brahma and I myself, like birds bound by a rope. Only by the Lord's grace can we create, maintain, and annihilate the material world. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Being. Purport. A summary of creation is given in this verse. From Sankarshan, Mahavishnu expands, and from Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu expands. Lord Brahma, who was born of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, fathers Lord Śiva, from whom all the other demigods gradually evolve. Lord Brahma, Lord Śiva, and Lord Vishnu are incarnations of the different material qualities. Lord Vishnu is actually above all material qualities, but he accepts control of Sattvagun, the mode of goodness, to maintain the universe. Lord Brahma is born from the Mahat Tattva. Brahma creates the entire universe, Lord Vishnu maintains it, and Lord Shiva annihilates it. Can anyone check the audio? The Supreme Personality of Godhead controls all the most important demigods, especially Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, exactly as the owner of a bird controls it by binding it with a rope. Sometimes vultures are controlled in this way. One more next verse.
Go to this.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mangat Dadati Swakadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddhapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Balavan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamidhamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mantra Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So thank you. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining in our Srimad Bhagavatam class. So here we are continue reading the. This is actually spoken by Lord Shiva. So you can see how Lord Brahma is appearing, and then how Shiva is coming from Lord Brahma. Actually, the breakdown is more vividly explained in this verse 5:20, is it? 21, 22. 5:22.
We're together.
Yeah.
भूतेषु विरुद्ध उदुत्तमाये सरीसृपास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्याः प्रमथास्ततोऽपि गन्धर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये देवासुरेभ्यो मघवत्प्रधाना दक्षादयो ब्रह्मसुतास्तु तेषां भवः परः सोऽथ विरिञ्च वीर्य समत्परोऽहं द्विजदेवदेव. Of the two energies manifest, spirit and dull matter, beings possessing living force, vegetables, grass, trees, and plants, are superior to dull matter, stone, earth, etc. Superior to non-moving plants and vegetables are worms and snakes which can move. Superior to worms and snakes are animals that have developed intelligence. Superior to animals are human beings, and superior to human beings are ghosts because they have no material bodies. Superior to ghosts are the Gandharvas, and superior to them are the Siddhas. Superior to the Siddhas are the Kinnaras, and superior to them are the Asuras. Superior to the Asuras are the demigods, and of the demigods, Indra, the king of heaven, is supreme. Superior to Indra are the direct sons of Lord Brahma, sons like King Daksha, and supreme among Lord Brahma's sons is Lord Shiva. Since Lord Shiva is the son of Lord Brahma, Brahma is considered superior, but Brahma is also subordinate to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because I am inclined to the Brahmanas are the best of all.
So this is the breakdown. You can see how the creation, one living entity after was created. Yes. So here Lord Shiva is explaining how Lord Brahma, the first person who was created. And Lord Brahma, his body is not like us, In fact, those who are in that level with him, you can see here in this verse, their bodies are different, See? 30. Let me see, huh? No, go to next verse. Give me a minute there.
No, 27.
27, yeah. Correct. 2 to 27. You see here, this world, this is how the residents have their body, in the Satyaloka.
न यत्र शोको न जरा न मृत्युर्नार्तिर्न चोद्वेगरते कुतश्चित् Yacchittadodah kripayanidam vidam duranta dukkha prabhavanu. In that planet of Satyaloka, there is neither bereavement, nor old age, nor death. There is no pain of any kind, and therefore there are no anxieties, save that sometimes, due to consciousness, there is a feeling of compassion for those unaware of the process of devotional service, who are subjected to unsurpassable miseries in the material world.
See, this is how the bodies are in the Satyaloka, And can you imagine how Brahma? It's further explained in next verse.
ततो विशेषं प्रतिपद्य निर्भयस्तेनात्मनापो नलमूर्तिरत्वरन् ज्योतिर्मयो वायुमुपेत्य काले वायवात्मनाखं बृहदात्मलिङ्गम्. After reaching Satyaloka, the devotee is specifically able to be incorporated fearlessly by the subtle body in an identity similar to that of the gross body, and one after another he gradually attains stages of existence from earthly to watery, fiery, glowing, and airy until he reaches the ethereal stage.
So his body is ethereal, that means almost spiritual, very ethereal is what? Like mostly airy like that. You follow? So that's why they don't have all these problems like we have, gross body. You understand? So Lord Brahma's body is like that. So when Hiranyakashipu, he wanted the benediction that he will not die, But Lord Brahma said, that's not possible. And then he said, although we don't die like you, so what he meant by he don't die like him, because we have gross body, Lord Brahma doesn't have. You understand? Lord Brahma's body is, I think you can see the next verse also. The devotee thus surpassing the gross and the subtle forms of covering enters the plane of egoism, and in that state has emerged the material modes of nature, ignorance and passion. Into this point of neutralization and thus reaches egoism in goodness. After this, all egoism is merged into the Mahatattva and he comes to the point of pure spiritual realization. They are just one step below the Vaikuntha planet. You follow this point? So the body of Brahma is not an ordinary body. You follow? Next verse. Only the purified soul can attain the perfection of associating with the personality of Godhead in complete bliss and satisfaction in constitutional state. Whoever is able to renovate such devotional perfection is never again attracted to the material world and never returns. See, this position is not an ordinary position. Why I am quoting these verses is to give you an idea who Lord Brahma is. You're not an ordinary soul. And if you go there, your body is also not, you follow. Such a very high position, Lord Brahma's position. But even then, of course, then from his body, Lord Shiva came. And the point here Lord Shiva is making is that we all are subordinate to Kṛṣṇa. We are actually giving the example, we are like what? Ropes, bird tied to our neck. So this is a very big problem because we are always preaching and we come across people who always claim that there's no difference between Lord Shiva and Krishna. In fact, some argue that Lord Shiva is the supreme, but Lord Shiva is countering it. You understand? Now, why you can see just Brahma's body has got 78%. 78. And Lord Shiva has got how many? 84 qualities, right? Where is that verse that shows 87, 78 and all that? Anyone knows? Huh?
71st chapter.
Nectar of devotion? This is also contested, you know. Some guy was arguing how you can say God has all 100% quality. You see? But I can see here that I think
Should read all the qualities?
no, just the part where it says Lord Shiva has got 84%, no?
It's number.
Where I Prabhupada gave it in the class, you know.
It's basically 55 divided by 64. Yeah. 84, 85%.
Like 78%.
50 over 64 is 78%.
So you can see how the percentage works out. 64%, 64 qualities, 100%, and that's Krishna. And Narayana has got 96%, no? 90? 96%? 94. Anyway, 94, and then Lord Shiva has got 84.
85.
And then Brahma topmost is 78%. But Krishna has got 100%. So you see, we have to understand this thing thoroughly. Even Lord Shiva is even explaining. What other verses you know that Lord Shiva is saying that he is the subordinate to Krishna? One by one, no? This is very important because you got to know this. Here, Lord Shiva is clearly saying we are what like? Hello? We are what? Birds. With what? Rope in our neck. Correct? What is he saying just now? The verse?
The feet.
Or the feet.
Bird.
Sometimes they put in the feet, mostly birds on the feet. Animals on the neck. So you can see what other verses that you know that shows that Krishna is the supreme controller of Lord Shiva, particularly. Do you know? Let's go to the Gita. Let's say let's start with the Gita. It's easier. You have to memorize this. Where is it in the Gita? 7:7. That Krishna is saying. I want to know that Lord Shiva is saying that Krishna is the supreme. Do you know? Let's start with the 7:14. Lord Shiva is saying in the purport. Remember this. You have to remember. The whole idea is to understand this so that tomorrow you are meeting someone and you know. Okay, here this is the verse that we always quote. Lord Shiva is saying here. What's he saying?
Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnureva na samshaya. There's no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone.
So, Lord Shiva is saying, yes. Love. So you have to remember this, correct?
It's from the Harivamsha.
This one, right? Where else it says that Lord Shiva says Krishna is supreme? Now, see, one thing point here we have to understand here that Lord Shiva is saying if you want to get out of this material world, then only one person can help you. Only one, and that is only Vishnu. And even the demigods also say, I want them to explain. If you say, then they will not learn. See, the purpose of my class is to help you. You understand? So that you will remember this. You follow? So now we have Lord Shiva is saying, correct? So the demigods are also saying that if you want liberation, you must only go to Krishna.
What is the number?
10:51.
51.
See, the demigods are also saying the same point.
Varam Vishneva Bhadram Te Rite Kaivalyamadhyana Eka Eveshwarastasya Bhagavan Vishnuravyayaha.
So that point here,
All good fortune to you. Now please choose a benediction from us. Anything but liberation, since only the infallible Supreme Lord Vishnu can bestow that.
see this point here? Huh? Only who? That's why devotees, they reject all these demigods and everything. And they only go to, that Mumukshubir. Mumukshubir. You see that those who worship, those who are interested in getting out of this material world, they only go to
Srimad Bhagavatam 1:26. Mumukshavo ghora rupam hitva bhutapati natha Narayana kala shanta bhajanti anasuyavaha. Those who are serious about liberation are certainly non-envious and they respect all. Yet they reject the horrible and ghastly forms of the demigods and worship only the all-blissful forms of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portions.
So those who are serious about liberation, they reject all this horrible and ghastly form of and they only worship the all blissful form of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portion. See the point here. So the demigods are by no way they can help you. Materially, yes, but spiritually, no. Huh?
Shabda Brahmani, Srimad Bhagavatam 4:29-45. Shabda Brahmani dushpare charanta uru vistare mantralingairvyavachinnam bhajanto na vidupparam. Despite the cultivation of Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, and the worship of different demigods by the symptoms of Vedic mantras, demigod worship does not help one to understand the supreme powerful personality of Godhead. Please understand.
You cannot understand Krishna by worshipping the demigods. See, demigod worship and demigods themselves are all under the modes, Demigods are all under the, where is that? 18? Yeah. You see, this is another reason why the demigods cannot give you liberation. Liberation is beyond the modes. And the demigods are all inside the modes. If you are inside and trapped, how you can have someone come out? That's not possible. Is it here?
Bhagavad Gita 18:40. नतदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is freed from these three modes born of material nature.
See here? So they cannot help you. That's why the demigods, they are not foolish. They say, no, if you want liberation, then only you have to go to Vishnu. And Lord Shiva is also saying. So the problem is that they get all mixed up. Why they get mixed up? What is the reason they get mixed up? Huh? Tell me.
Because as per last
With the preference. Huh?
as per last class you told also, when they are not in the mode of goodness and above the mode of goodness, they cannot understand what is correct and what is not correct.
No. My answer is a little different. I think it is in 2145. On there. Here you see why they get into this.
व्यामोहाय चराचरस्य जगदस्ते ते पुराणागमात् तां तामेव हि देवतां परमिहां जल्पन्तु कल्पावधि सिद्धान्ते पुनरेक एव भगवान् विष्णुः समस्तागमा व्यापारेषु विवेचनव्यतिकरं नीतेषु निश्चीयते. There are many types of Vedic literatures and supplementary Puranas. In each of them, there are particular demigods who are spoken of as the chief demigods. This is just to create an illusion for moving and non-moving living entities. Let them perpetually engage in such imaginations. However, when one analytically studies all these Vedic literatures collectively, he comes to the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the one and only Supreme Personality of Godhead.
To this point here, why why is to create illusion among all these persons? What is the reason? Why the Vedas says to do this? Why not just
Because we don't want.
huh?
Because we don't want. We were closing our eyes because of our desires.
Because you don't want. I wouldn't say like that. You see, in this material world, everyone has got various kinds of desires. Yes? Is it not? Right? So someone wants to enjoy the senses, someone wants to come out of sense enjoyment, someone wants to engage the senses in the service of the Lord. So there are different kind of living entity because three modes, three modes times by three times go on. So it is. So accordingly, a person has got so many desires. And actually, the Lord wants to fulfill in this material world all your material desires. That's why the living entity is here. The living entity is here for what? Fulfilling of. And who can fulfill the desires? Only the Lord can do. You understand? So because he is trapped with the desires, so he is made to approach the necessary demigods.
Why not Krishna himself?
Huh?
Why not Krishna himself?
See, Krishna explained why you cannot go to him directly. Because just now we read, only those who have got pure devotion, they can approach the Lord. As Prabhupada explained, there's fire. Unless you want to go to and associate fire, you must become fire, no? Huh? So if you want to go to the Lord who is supreme pure, you also have to become pure. But if you are contaminated, so the Lord will associate with you, but through the various demigods. It's explained there. What is that verse? 720, is it? Bhagavad Gita? Huh? 720? So here you see here, in this verse,
प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः तं तं नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियतां स्वया.
So you see, this is very important. Can you read this? And then we'll go to the next verse.
Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures.
So when you say own nature, what does it mean here? What it means when you say own nature here? Because of the modes. According to the modes. So he is what? Suppose one is interested in worshipping Lord Shiva. So he must be in the mode of ignorance. Because Lord Shiva is in charge of ignorance. And suppose someone is passionate, then he goes to who? Huh? I think that's the verse on this, you can read this verse 24, 330, purport. You want to go? Yeah, let's go. Then you can get a clearer idea how the mode work,
2, 3, 2 to 7 also.
2, 3?
2 to 7.
2, 7.
2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 7.
I think this is a little bigger, no? Huh? That one is all, those who are interested in this, they worship that, those interested. But here, you can see here, this comes to the point, 24,330. Goodness and ignorance, they worship Ganesh. Goodness and passion, they worship the sun god, I think. Huh?
Reading from Madhya, Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 24 or 330. In material consciousness, reading from the purport.
I think no, is the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In material consciousness, however, even one who is situated in the mode of goodness is susceptible to pollution by the modes of passion and ignorance. When the mode of goodness is mixed with the mode of passion, one worships the sun god, Vivaswan.
See? Goodness mixed with passion is attracted to worship of the sun god. Then?
When the mode of goodness is mixed with the mode of ignorance, one worships Ganapati.
See?
Or Ganesh.
Then?
When the mode of passion is mixed with the mode of ignorance, one worships Durga or Kali, the external potency.
Passion and ignorance is Durga. And then?
When one is simply in the mode of ignorance, one becomes the devotee of Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva is the predominant deity of the mode of ignorance within this natural
You
world.
see, these things are, it's not that you are a controller, I like this. It is not a fact. You can see in 722, or 721, I think 722. The Lord said, I will give you that. Huh? You understand? How the Lord gives? Because the association of the modes. Okay? Karanam gunasangasya sad asad yoni. See? You see here in this verse.
Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanamihate Labhate Chatatam Naman Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan.
Maeva vihitan hetan. See this? Very important.
Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone.
No, one verse before. 21.
Yo yo yam yam dhanam bhaktah shraddhaya chutumichhati tasya tasyachalam shraddham tameva vidathamyaham. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity.
See this point here? You understand? Because he's got material desires, already Krishna explained it, contaminated, Hrta Gyan, So he cannot go to the Lord with his contaminated desires. Anyway, to go to the Lord, you need the mercy of a devotee. That is the criteria. So generally people are attracted to the demigods. And the Lord being in the heart, he detects and he makes it steady. Okay, you worship there, you worship here. And once you go and worship the demigod, when you get material benefit, then your faith becomes Very much what? Fixed up. That you think that no, my Shiva is all in all, my Ganesh is all in all, my Durga is all in all. Yeah. Even how you explain also, he will not listen. No, you don't know. I know my Shiva. You understand? You follow? So how to person, you see, like today's verse, Lord Shiva is saying, I am servant of Krishna. Lord Brahma is also servant. Both of us are servant. We are topmost demigods. Even you explain, then they say, this is all in your Vaishnava Tantra, all your Vaishnava books are like this. But actually, Lord Shiva, we have our scripture. Yeah, that's now I explained. If you study any other scriptures accordingly, each demigod will be what? But if you study them collectively, then you will know Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. You follow? Otherwise, if you go to the demigod, you still bewildered. You still what? Demigod, you cannot come out. Just now you say, you cannot see things clearly. Because you are contaminated by material desires. Are you understanding this point? So you see, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all the 330 million demigods, all of them are under the control of Krishna. They are not independent. They cannot be independent. You understand? There is a verse, of course, 2:21, but it is more nicely explained in 21:33. 21:33, Madhya, 21:33.
Swayam prasayam yatisha shayaspratisha Swarajyalakshmyapta samastakama Balim haradhishchiralokapalai Kirita padapita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the master of the three worlds and the three principal demigods Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. No one is equal to or greater than him. By his spiritual potency known as Swarajya Lakshmi, all his desires are fulfilled. While offering their dues and presents in worship, the predominating deities of all the planets touch the lotus feet of the Lord with their helmets. Thus they offer prayers to the Lord.
See this point here? But this verse is actually 2:21. 2:21. But the translation is not so.
3:21.
Yeah, 2:21. Yeah, 3:21. Sorry. The translation is a little different there.
So why Vishnu mentioned as demigod?
Why
Vishnu mentioned as demigod?
Vishnu?
The translation.
Yeah, Vishnu is also an expansion of the Lord. Understand? Principal demigod, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Of course, you have to understand Vishnu is an expansion of the Lord. So, very important point that we have to understand that under no circumstance the demigods are in any way equal to Krishna. In fact, if you consider such a thing, you're considered as an offender. You know where's that verse? If you consider the demigod equal to Krishna, you're considered a Pashanti. 17:13. 18? 18116. See, if you think this way, that the demigods are all in all, then you consider as an offender.
Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Devatayhi Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashanti Bhavetruvam. A person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on an equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender or Pashanti.
Pashanti means atheistic. So try to understand that you cannot try to worship the Lord according to your own sentiment or whims. It doesn't work. You have to worship the Lord according to the Shastra, Sadhu, and Guru. You follow this point? And the base is the Shastra. Now, of course, you may quote some Puranas that is supporting. That's why it's very important to learn the Shastra under the guidance of a spiritual master. You cannot try to buy this book and start reading and you will get confused. You'll get what? You follow? Huh? You have to learn this through a help of the devotee. Without the help of a devotee, one cannot approach the Lord. One cannot approach the Lord without the help of a... Where is it stated? Huh? 22. 22:51. 22:51.
Mahat Kripa Vina Kona Karne Bhakti Nai Krishna Bhakti Dure Raho Samsare Nai Shai. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotional service. To say nothing of Krishna Bhakti, one cannot even be relieved from the bondage of material existence.
Right? If you want to go out of this, then you need the favor of a devotee. Therefore, to understand the position of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all the demigods and everything, if you try to do without the help of a devotee, then you get confused. You get what? Confused. Yes? How many of you before coming were feeling like that? And practically all of us, no? Yeah? We don't know why so many gods. Why? That's why the other religion they have an upper hand. See, you so many gods, confusing. You come to us, we only one. Huh? Huh? You understand? But actually, we are also one. Actually, Prabhupada quoted that verse, you know. Eka something Divitya Nai, you know, that's one phrase Prabhupada quotes. Divitya Nai. Eko Brahman, Divitya? Prabhupada used to quote that all the time. I don't think it's in the Bhagavatam. It is not in the CC also. And he gives in the class. Yeah. This was echo. So there's only one person, God. There's no two or three. This is the word Prabhupada. Eko Brahma Diviti Nasti. I don't know where's the source of this one. I don't know where this is coming from, but Prabhupada always said this, you know, that there's only one God. There's not that there's many gods, you know. And Lord Brahma doesn't make the mistake, and today you're reading Lord Shiva doesn't also make the mistake. Okay? So those people who make the mistake, they're confused. Yeah? You understand? So we have to be very clear on this. Then our spiritual life can progress. But if you are confused, you don't know what to do, what not to do, full of doubts, then how you will understand? Where's this verse that doubting soul cannot get perfection this life or even next life? Where it says? Where it says, huh? Wait, where is it? Don't have. I know, Prabhu, such words is not there. Where? What? 440. Very good. See? 440. See here. See the word samsaya. Samsaya means what? Doubts. Samsaya atma. One who is doubtful. Can read that.
अज्ञश्च श्रद्धधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परो न सुखं संशयात्मनः. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next.
See? If you confuse, you think everything is okay, never mind, I don't bother, I just go. You get what? You cannot get happiness. That's why even Kṛṣṇa asked him. Actually, there's 2 points here. Arjuna also said, except for you, Kṛṣṇa, nobody else can clear my doubts. You know where's that? Huh? No. 6th chapter. 6th chapter, Krishna says, Arjuna is asking the question, what happens if the person doing devotional service, halfway he falls down and goes away? Then Arjuna is saying, for all this doubt, only you can clear. There's nobody else can clear this doubt. You know that verse? 630? 639. Say, etam me samsayam Kṛṣṇa. See again the word samsayam. See? Can you read this?
एतन्मे संशयं कृष्ण छेत्तुम् अर्हस्य शेषतः वदन्यः संशयस्यास्य छेत्ता नाभ्युपपद्यते. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt.
You see this point here? Why he has to say only Kṛṣṇa, you can clear? So many people are there, no? Why? Yes. So this is to stress that Kṛṣṇa is the authority. Kṛṣṇa is the what? Supreme authority. This is also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. You know where is that? 7:7:29. 7:7:29. Read.
Of the different processes recommended for disentanglement from material life, the one personally explained and accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be considered all perfect. That process is the performance of duties by which love for the Supreme Lord develops.
So you see, there's so many processes, but that which is explained and accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be considered all perfect. You follow this point? So Arjuna is again saying this. Prahlad Maharaj is also saying that the authority of Kṛṣṇa cannot be challenged. And only Kṛṣṇa can clear all doubt. Okay? Of course, Kṛṣṇa is like the sun, and all this darkness and all this thing is what? Whenever you have the sun, there's no question of. Okay. And of course, even Krishna is asking Arjuna, are all your doubts cleared, Arjuna? I think it's 1872, I think. Is it? Is it 1872? I've explained this thing at length. Your doubts all are cleared. Right? So you have to clear your doubts. You cannot just go on with this wild theory that everything is God, everything is okay. It doesn't work. It doesn't. See? Sanskrit.
तच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदान् अज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय.
See?
O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Krishna is asking this question. Your doubts all clear. Are you out of ignorance? Hello? So you cannot be in ignorance, and it is not possible. You understand? And then you see, of course, Arjuna replied, Nastamoham, the famous verse. See?
Arjuna Vacha Nashto Moham Smritirlabdha Tatprasadanmayachyuta Sthitosmi Gata Sandeha Karishye Vachanam Tava.
This is Gata Sandeha. What is that?
Sandeha is gone,
Gata Sandeha.
removed.
All doubt. Sandeha. I am free from all Sandeha. Sandeha, is it? So you have to know that we have to be clear, free from all. Then you can approach the Lord. That's why he said, what he say? You see, you read, please.
Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions.
See, unless you're free from doubt, how you can act according to Krishna's instruction? That's not possible. And if you are in the modes, then you will be bewildered. You will be. Where is it said that if you are in the mode, you will be bewildered? Where? Very famous verse. Hello, this, you must know this very. 240? No. 327. 320. This verse you must know by heart. Hello. Ahankara Vimudatma. One who is what? Hello. Is it that? Chant.
प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature.
See? Bewildered. He is bewildered by false ego. Actually, Lord Shiva is in charge of this false ego. Of course, in expansion of Shankarshan. Because in today's world, of course, it's a long subject. If we're going to explain that, it's going to be taking a lot of time. Vaikarika, you know that word? That Vaikarika is explained because here, today's words, the Vaikarika, you go, I don't know, we have time. I don't want to take too much time. And it's also a deeper subject of the matter. Because Lord Shiva says, I am the creator of all the demigods. Now, how is it that Krishna is saying he is the creator of everything? Why Lord Shiva is saying, I am the creator of demigods? How you explain that point? Isn't it a little bit confusing? So that you have to use the word, that's why the word is Vaikarika, you know, that's now Sanskrit. You can go to, I think it is, you type the word Vaikarika, you'll come to it, you know. Vaikārika. You go 2276, see? So we will go very quickly because it's a very detailed subject matter. No, there's no purport. This one. There's a purport here. Yeah, you can read this.
So reading from CC Madhya 20.276. First, the total
I
material
think you
energy-
go to the Sanskrit first because then this words is there, Vaikārika.
Because there's no Vaikārika.
Yeah, then the purport. Yeah, you read the purport. Then. So first, the total mental energy is manifested from this arise the three modes of egoism, which are generally the source of which all the demigod contributed sentimental elements expand. See that? So Lord Shiva is in charge of the mode of ignorance and ego. See, your mind is in the mode of goodness, intelligence is in the mode of passion, and ego is in charge in the mode of ignorance. You understand? So you see the purport. You see the word here, Vaikārika. You see that? So explain.
The three types of egotism, ahankar, are technically known as Vaikārika, Taijasa, and Tamasa. The Mahatattva is situated within the heart or chitta, and the predominating deity of Mahatattva is Lord Vasudeva. In Bhagavatam 3.26.21. The Mahatattva is transformed into three divisions: Vaikārika, egotism and goodness, Sattvika Ahankar, from which is manifested the 11th sense organ, the mind, whose predominating deity is Aniruddha. 3.26.27.28. Number 2, Taijasa, or egotism and passion, Rajasa Ahankar, from which are manifested the active and knowledge acquiring senses, along with the intelligence whose predominating deity is Lord Pradyumna. 3.26.9-31. And 3, Tamasa, or egotism and ignorance, from which sound vibration, Shabda Tanmatra, expands. From sound vibration, the sky, Akasha, is manifested, and then the senses, beginning with the sense of hearing, are also manifested. 3.26.32. Of these three types of egotism, Lord Sankarshan is the predominating deity. In the philosophical discourse known as the Sankhya Karika, it is stated, Sattvika ekadashakaha pravartate vaikritat ahankarat bhutades tanmatram tamasa taijasat ubhayam.
312. 2312.
312.
2312.
Śiva Shakti Yuktah Shashvat Premgo Guna Samvritah Vaikārikastaijasascha Tamasaschatyaham Tritha. The truth about Lord Shiva is that he is always covered with three material coverings, Vaikārika, Taijasa, and Tamasa. Because of these three modes of material nature, he always associates with the external energy and egotism itself.
1088.3. So you see, Lord Shiva is always with Maya. Understand? You follow? So anyone with his Maya, how he can be the supreme? Huh? 1088.3, about 1088.5. You understand? Whereas Krishna is different. He does not associate with Maya at all. So you see how everything is explained thoroughly. It's not that we just whimsically we are trying to accept Krishna as the supreme. It doesn't work like that. That's why everything has to be understood by sadhu, shastra, and guru. Shastra is the best. That's why Krishna says, in order to help the living entity who is perpetually in Maya, I think it's 21, 1 to 2, 21 to 2. Krishna Veda Puran. Jivere Kripa Hoy. Krishna Veda Puran. So to help the living entity, Krishna has given this Shastra. Maya Mukta. ये क्या?
माया मुग्ध जीवेर नाही स्वतः कृष्ण ज्ञान जीवेर कृपाया पहला कृष्ण वेद पुराण. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. But out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and its supplements, the Puranas.
So the Vedas and the Purans, they are very important to help. If you don't have the Vedas and the Puran, then you're lost. You're what? That's why, see, you study the Indian people, are the only one who has got this. Nobody else has got this. Nobody? You understand this point? Why? Why? Indian people are fortunate. Why? Huh? What?
Lord came here, Lord appeared.
Because India is the seat, the Punya Bhumi, the seat of the Vedic culture. And without Vedas, finish. You cannot go nowhere. Yes? Of course, not just that you go to the Vedas, you also need the next verse, I think. You have to have then Krishna has explained, to help the conditioned soul understand the Vedas, what? He gives the spiritual master, sadhu.
शास्त्र गुरु आत्मा रूपे आपनारे जानान कृष्ण मोर प्रभु दाता जीवेर भय ज्ञान. The forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literatures, the realized spiritual master and the super soul. Through these, he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is, and he can understand that Lord Krishna is his eternal master and deliverer from the clutches of Maya. In this way, one can acquire real knowledge of his conditioned life and can come to understand how to attain liberation.
See? The Shastra, the Guru, and also the Super Soul. You know the verse for this in the Bhagavatam?
11:29:6.
11:29:6. Externally, he comes to help you as the spiritual master, and internally, he is inside. Tesham satata yuktanam jantam pratibhuvakam tadame buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayandite. I am seated in the heart and I give you the intelligence in how you can come to me. So unless you get connected to him, how you will, it's not possible, right? So can you see this one?
नैरोपयन्त्यपचितिं कवयस्तवेश ब्रह्मायुषापिकृतमृद्धमुदस्मरन्त योऽन्तर्बहिस्तनुभृतामशुभं विधुन्वन् आचार्य चैद्यवपुषा सगतं जनक्ति. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. So you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you.
See, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul. So you cannot at all come out of this Maya with your own mental strength. It's not possible. It is not. That's why Krishna said, Deviyesha Gunamaya Mama Maya Turatyaya. You know this verse? That's now we saw, 7:14. Right? Can you go there? So you see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very simply spoke, you know. Right? The divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of nature is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Now just say the surrender to Krishna is not some direct thing. You have to go through it. I think it's 5:3:14. 5:3:14, is it? I will quote this verse here. See that? Very important verse. You see this? Huh? You want to read?
Srimad Bhagavatam 5:3:14. Dear Lord, unless one worships the lotus feet of great devotees, one will be conquered by the illusory energy and his intelligence will be bewildered.
See that?
Indeed, who has not been carried away by the waves of material enjoyment which are like poison? Your illusory energy is unconquerable. No one can see the path of this material energy or tell how it is working.
Even Lord Shiva himself got bewildered. To speak of what? Lord Brahma also got bewildered. Huh? I think you know the story, right? The Mohini avatar, the Mohini avatar, and Brahma, he was bewildered. Huh? What? Vrindavan. Yeah. So who is the little boy, doing this? You know how many, I just put up the post about how many gopis there are. Do you know how many cowherd boys are there? Eh? Unlimited, cannot count. Eh? So try to understand, when Krishna expanded himself to so many cowherd boys, Brahma became bewildered. And then this cowherd boy went into the body of Krishna. Brahma was confused. That's why he said, if someone thinks they know about Krishna, let them think like that. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know who is this Krishna. I cannot understand him. Yeah? Yes. So try to understand the position. Even today, Lord Shiva is saying, I am subordinate to. Of course, he is also saying Brahma also. And Brahma himself also saying, I cannot figure Krishna out. Not possible. Is it? You read.
जानन्त एव जानन्तु किं बहुज्ञान मे प्रभो मनसो वपुषो वाचो वैभवं तव गोचरः. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-28. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words.
Lord Shiva say he cannot understand. Lord Brahma saying he cannot understand. Even Krishna say you cannot understand. Where is he stays there? In Bhagavad Gita. Hello? Come on. Bhagavad Gita. Hello? 7:26. No, I think also in 4. 7:26 is more appropriate.
वेदां समतीतानि वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्याणि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past and all that is happening in the present and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows.
But when you go out and preach, you say, please take this book. No, I know. I know everything. Look at the nonsense. Huh? Krishna is saying you cannot know. Why you saying you know? What? Rubbish? Yes? This is the whole problem. The whole problem is that you're preaching to somebody who is what? Uneducated fool. What? Uneducated fool. What is that? Moham muddaham na bijanante. A fool. I think one verse before this. One verse before this. Naham prakasha sarvasha yoga maya. Mudoham na bijanante. Fool. They cannot understand me. But our so-called man on the road, yeah, I know everything. And such people are called by Krishna as fools. See the word Muddoyam Nabhijanante Lokamam Ajamavyayam. That's fool. That's the what? Fool. So please try to understand the position of Krishna. Position of Krishna is what? Supreme. Eh? What? Me no one knows. Me no. That's why the Lord's position is inconceivable. He is what? You know where in the Gita he says he's inconceivable? Do you know? Where he says it's inconceivable in the Bhagavad Gita. Hello? Achintya Gunaswarupam. 8-9. It's a very nice verse. Kavim Puranam. Achintya. See that? Achintya Rupam. This is a very nice verse. The Lord is inconceivable. He is what? So try to understand this, Cannot go to Krishna just by your own mental strength. That is not possible. So you need the help of a pure devotee, not any devotee. So he can bring you to Krishna. He can explain. In fact, there's a verse that the pure devotee reveals 11:11:25. A pure devotee reveals the whole thing to you. You cannot. Krishna says, Devi is a gunamaya, mama maya, turatya. That's you surrender to me. Then yes, but you cannot surrender to Krishna directly. You must go through his pure devotees. You follow? So here you see, thus he very easily goes to my abode, which is revealed by my pure. You understand? Of course, there's another verse also, 11:11:48. So, okay, I think I've taken too much of your time. Very sorry. They here made possible by associating my devotees, then for all practical purpose, one possesses no effective means of escaping from the material existence. Is that the point here? So like that, of course, there are many, many verses. So we need to learn how to overcome this. Otherwise, you simply go and just worship, you will only end up being confused. And doubts will breed in your mind. And for doubting soul, finish. You understand? Any question? Anything you want to add? 11? Sorry. Bhakti Sandarbha 213.
Srila Jiva Goswami, so reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:17-27 purport. Srila Jiva Goswami in his Bhakti Sandarbha 213 has clearly defined that a pure devotee's observation of the spiritual master and Lord Shiva as one with the personality of Godhead exists in terms of their being very dear to the Lord, not identical with Him in all respects.
So the point there, because he's very dear to the Lord. Okay. Not that Lord Shiva is what? Superior to him. But Lord Shiva doesn't make the mistake, It's the living entity's perception. Because Lord Shiva is what? Overwhelmingly what? Easily to please. And when you get material assets from him, then you think, yes, it's all your own. Huh?
In 24:330, purport that we are showing, we have shown that ignorance Shiva, this one, right? But we see many mutts and all in India, mata, whereas they really live peacefully and they are eating the food without onion, garlic and all only, like pretty much looking like mode of goodness, but still their mattas are worshipping Shiva. How to understand?
See, you may see everything externally, but you don't know. You go there, you see, everything is going on. In a moment, you can. But in order to know something, you have to associate. You have to stay there, you have to observe. That's why there's a saying that in order to know someone, you must associate for 6 months. Yes? Correct. Why it says like that? It can all be on the surface. Anything on the surface looks good, no? I think there's a verse, On the surface, the water is what? Very calm and thing. When you go down, then you see all the mud, so this, that, everything. Correct? So, every society, of course, if they are religious, they must wake up in the morning. They must do all these things. If you have a mud and you don't wake up, then what it is? Huh? Correct? So, in order, even Prabhupada said the Calcutta train drivers also wake up at 3:30 in the morning. So, what is the use of that?
I think the Lord Shiva's worshippers are mostly impersonalists.
Yes.
And in Supremacy, it says, the worshippers impersonalists are the most darkest of tongues.
Even if you are a Brahmana, even you are chanting, you cannot come to the prema stage. What to speak? You can only come to the what? What is the Abbas? What is it? Nama Abbas platform. You know that? It's in the CC. I was reading that in the CC. So what to speak? Demigod worshippers, they cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's not possible. And unless you come above the modes, then there's no question of developing Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. Correct? How you go above the modes when you worship someone who's in the modes? Does it make any sense? Huh? Most of the most you can come in the mode of goodness, but mode of goodness you cannot stay there. It always be contaminated, you see. You know where is that? Yeah, it's always contaminated, So you cannot just say, oh, Prabhu, everybody is doing well, everybody is doing good. Somebody asked me this question on a Friday class. But they also okay. I think everybody is nice. Right? So how you answer that? Huh? How do you answer that?
It's not remaining that words.
10:44:10. If you go to a place and you know, and you don't teach them, then you implicated. Correct? You go there to the Shiva ashram, let's say, and you say, yeah, Shiva is also God. Yeah, then you're not implicated. You know what? Yes to Narayana Devam. Yes or not? You understand? So you cannot, I was in the Philippines and this guy from the Ramakrishna mission came, because our yatra was selling samosas and he liked samosas. He cannot get it anywhere else. So he came. So when he came, this man from Ramakrishna mission, Because they believe yatam mat tatam pat. Everything is what? Anything you do also, okay, you will come to the same destination. That's their philosophy. So then, of course, Vijay Kishore was talking to him. And the moment he quoted this verse, yes to Narayan, then, okay, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, he didn't say Hare Krishna. So, okay, he bought the samosa and he left. So when you go somewhere and you preach, then that's the real thing to see, no? Whether they will accept you or not. You follow? You understand what I'm saying? Huh? So externally everything seems correct, but that's why he says, a fool is not known until he opens his. I mean, I also go to India, I see so many guys, all sadhu, big beard, I think longer beard than me. I don't have a beard, but is that the qualification? What's the qualification? That you? Yeah. And if he's speaking something not in accordance with scripture, then he's bogus. He's what? 23:52. 23:52. Everything is judged by what? Scripture. Okay. Yeah. One should accept a saintly person, one should accept a thing as genuine by studying the words of saintly people, the spiritual master and the Shastra. The actual center is the Shastra, the revealed scripture. Right? If similarly, if a saintly, read the thing.
If a spiritual master does not speak according to the revealed scripture, he is not to be accepted. Similarly, if a saintly person does not speak according to the Shastra, he is not a saintly person. The Shastra is the center for all. Unfortunately, at the present moment, people do not refer to Shastras, therefore they accept rascals and as incarnations, and consequently they have made incarnations into a very cheap thing.
This is going on. This way Prabhupada came. What is this? We chant the prayer. Nirvishesha, he came to finish this nonsense. You go to India, everybody is confused. I was there for 4 months and I was giving, my only class is this: who is God? And nobody knows. Nobody know who is God. Come on, you are going to temple and doing puja and every day. So many coconuts you break. I don't know how many you break, but and you don't know who is God. Hello. How you don't know who is God? How you can go to God? Can. That's why we made this book. What is the book? Yeah, he got it there. How are you selling it? Okay. What?
When we give Kṛṣṇa book, this one we give.
Oh. So this is very important point, don't you think so? If you don't know who is God, then how you can develop love for him? They say proudly, love God, love God, love God. Who is that God? Foolish. This is what? Isn't that? See? The base is Shastra. I'm telling you how many books you got. You got the Gita, you got the Vedas, you got the what? The Puranas, you got the what? Itihasas, you got Mahabharata, Ramayana, so many books. Is it not? And you don't know who is God. Not only that, God came personally. He did not go to any other country. He went only to where? Is it? How foolish. Why this position? Why? Because emphasis is that I told yesterday, one guy was saying, in the prison you are taught the Gita. But in the school you are there was yesterday there was something on the Facebook.
Gita in the prison. Outside they don't read.
In the school, you don't read Bhagavad Gita. In the prison, you read. That means you have to go to prison to read Bhagavad Gita. Does it make any sense?
In the school, if they have read, they could not have uploaded.
So this is a pathetic situation. Why this is happening? Yeah, it is foolish. Yeah, what? People are so much what they say. I would say, what's the word? Emphasis. Where you studying? Where you come from? Where? What? I studied in IIT. Oh. But you say, I studied Gita. You studied what? Stupid, yes. And Krishna says, those who studied this is the top among all those who are educated. That 1129. What? I consider he's the cleverest of the clever. Who is the cleverest of the clever? I think 1129 something, 22. The one who knows this sign is the cleverest among. See, buddhimantam buddhi. See, check.
Manisha cha manishinam yat satyam amriteneha martye napnoti mamritam. This process is the supreme intelligence of the intelligent and the cleverness of the most clever. For by following it, one can in this very life make use of the temporary and unreal to achieve me, the eternal reality.
See? That means if you know this, you are what? In the Gita also it says, right? Huh? Yeah. This is the topmost science. And no, but this IIT and what? XYD. That one, I gave a joke, one taxi driver, he put his name DR, so and so, PhD. Then the man asking, wow, you must be a very highly educated taxi driver. He said, no, DR means driver. PhD means what? India got a lot of potholes, Pothole dodger. Yeah. See how nonsense it is. Huh? This is the problem. The problem is that what? Misdirected civilization. That's the word. Misdirected civilization. They don't know. They just don't know. They don't know anything. Unfortunate. Anyway, hopefully your IIT certificate will save you at the time of death. You can give it and show it to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj, oh, your IIT, okay, please come this way. We have a special place for IIT people. Yeah.
You get open. Actually, going to IIT, the exam name itself is GATE. GATE.
All this, I quoted the verse, right? 1087:25, I think, yes? 1087:25. Anything that is not conclusive, accepting the supremacy of Kṛṣṇa, is all some based on false theory. This verse?
Suppose authorities who declare that matter is the origin of existence.
This is what you learn in school. This is what you learn. Everything is what? Physics, matter. What? Yes?
That the permanent qualities of the soul can be destroyed.
See? When you die, everything is finished. Again. Yes? This is what you teach. This is what you learn in school.
That the self is compounded of separate aspects of spirit and matter, or that material transactions constitute reality. All such authorities base their teachings on mistaken ideas that hide the truth.
You see that? Mistaken ideas. This one verse is so perfect.
The dualistic conception that the living entity is produced from the three modes of material nature is simply a product of ignorance. Such a conception has no real basis in you, for you are transcendental to all illusion and always enjoy perfect total awareness.
See that? One verse. completely sums up your nonsense education. And if you see in a mathematics, if your equation is wrong on the top, your answer is right or below. Huh? So you working on your education system is based on misconception, false theory. So how you can become perfect? You will come out completely confused. Completely. I never heard anybody studying this. He suddenly became what? Mental breakdown. You had anybody studying this, it became mental breakdown? But there's so many students, so many going to what? Mental institution. Why? Because breakdown. Why they break down? Why they break down? Because learning some nonsense. You understand? If you study this, you become very clear. Just now we read. Your doubts are cleared. What? Huh? Is with so much clarity and faith, he's willing to act. Yes. Can you imagine to push someone to get killed? Is it a very easy thing to do? Arjuna was pushed to the war. He's going to die. Yeah, either he can win or he can die. Yes. Huh? And going into that kind of situation, it requires what? Complete clarity. Yes. Complete conviction. Yes. Huh? And that he got from the material education. Is it? Hello. I mean, listen, you're getting into trouble with all this nonsense. You follow? Hello? Is it clear? I mean, in other words, it's also in the 11:29, I think, is that even a hopeless situation, if you everything is finished, but if you take to Krishna consciousness, then it constitutes the best, the highest. See this?
यो यो मयि परे धर्मः कल्प्यते निष्फलाय चेत् तदायासो निरर्थः स्यात् भयादेरिव सत्तमः. O Uddhava, greatest of saints, in a dangerous situation, an ordinary person cries, becomes fearful and laments. Although such useless emotions do not change the situation. But activities offered to me without personal motivation, even if they are externally useless, amount to the actual process of religion.
So that if you just go to Krishna, you are completely what? Perfect. Even in a hopeless situation. Whereas the other one cannot save you. Balasya neha pitoro narishu. Nothing can work without the blessing of the Lord. So I don't know, the problem is that we are all now brainwashed. We are what? Brainwashed. That's the problem. That's the one. And how to clean it up? That's why we recommend chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is the only way actually. No other way. And of course, associating with the devotees, reading the books, all this play a part. Okay, I think it's getting very, very late. I'm sorry. Nothing else, I'm sure. Huh? All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanandi.